Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mod Live Talks. We are here. It is what's Tuesday today, December 1st, getting right into the best months I would say of the year. November, December, always love them. And it's we're coming into some races here. We have our finals this weekend for the Mod Championship Series. It is a double points round. We got a couple events that we're going to be covering at the end of this month. Not only are the fifth scale championships going to be going on this weekend, we're going to be covering those live with moving cams for all of the races, but we're also going to have the main events covered, and we're going to be going down to SDRC for the Top Gun shootout. I just talked to Sean Story over there at SDRC, and he is on board for their Top Gun shootout. So you guys will have coverage there as well. So for 10 scale, so that's a really big event for SDRC. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Get with Sean if you guys want any to get in any entries. I know that he has that going on as well, but I know that they're also sold out. But if you want to go to a cool event, definitely hit up SDRC Raceway. So we will be there live for those guys. A couple cool products coming out very soon for the 10 scale guys. Some stuff coming out for 5th scale. Some new stuff. And we're just ramping up here as we get down to the nitty gritty here for 2020 and into 2021. There'll be a new series that will be coming out for the championship series. I'm working on some dates for this one right here, but so we'll be having one. We're adding a new track. We're going to be getting that done here soon. For 2021, we'll have some dates posted here and a flyer. But we're just trying to round off, I should say, 2020. It's been a little bit of an issue trying to get races in with the whole coronavirus thing with the state of California. So that was the reason of our switch from SoCal Nitro Raceway going to Bakersfield for the finals. SoCal Nitro Raceway is located on fairgrounds, and they have actually, I think, been closed down since the whole pandemic thing kind of started back in March. And I think we were going to be the first or second race that they had going on, and they got everything cleared for us. That's why we moved our dates from May into December, and then but that was when everything was open, and then another week or two later we had that other shutdown. And being that they are on fairgrounds, we're not able to camp there overnight. So being that all of our participants have rigs and motor homes and everything like that, it was an unfortunate change that had to be made. But it's kind of, from logistics wise, it just wasn't possible for anybody to be able to camp there for the days in December, being due to the fact of the whole coronavirus thing. So out of our hands, out of SoCal Nitro's hands. Very blessed. Good Old Boys is kind of one of our other central locations for our NorCal crew, as well as our Fear Farm crew from Arizona and Cedar Hill, and those guys out there to be able to come out this way so we can all converge in the center to get this over with. So I think it's going to be really cool. I have actually not been on this layout. It is going to be the same layout. They're going to re-prep it from their West Coast race. So those guys that haven't been there, which I believe there are a few, you will be able to practice on Friday. So come on down. We'll have lights for Saturday just in case we run into the night, but Friday I don't believe we'll have the lights, but it will be open for practice from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock or whenever it's dark. We can run to. So just kind of want to update you guys on that. Let me see if there's anybody any sort of questions I can ask. Nice intro and joining. Thank you, Cody. What's going on, Anthony? What's going on, Luke? What's going on, Large Scale? Need to come back to Iowa. Lucas, thank you, man. What's the new track you're adding? The new track we're adding, so this is what's the new track that we're adding? So the new track that we're adding is Cedar Hill RC Raceway. It is up in northern, I want to say northern, or kind of like to the, it's in the mountains there in Arizona. It's not like normal Arizona. So that place is really, really cool. It's up at like 7,000 feet. It's like, if anybody knows about like going to the Sierras to fish, but it's like the Sierras, but racing RC cars. So it's like at 7,000 feet. But it's a really cool track. It's a backyard track for Scott Yates, and very, 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 very cool track. So we'll be going out there and supporting him this coming year for one of the events. Is anyone using your pistons in the TLR X8 Elite? Yes, Tim. I actually have a setup that a guy always gets from me where he has them drilled to a certain spec. Hit me up later and we'll get you that spec. So yeah, we do have something cool. So being that this is the finals, guys, for the West Coast, basically we're on the West Coast, basically for the Mod Championship Series, we always do something special for the final participants. Last year, the trophies kind of doubled as a pit board. We had that for last year. I try and do something new every year that's personalized for the guys for the end, kind of like a little prize that you can use basically for completing it. Last time we had like a pit board type of thing. I know some guys use it, which was really cool, but I didn't want to do the same thing over and over again. But pit products are always nice. So for the finalists for the top three, and these were expensive, but we did a red, white, and blue tool holder. So the tools don't come with it, but it's a limited edition. It will only be this one time, red, white, and blue pit tool holder. There's going to be 24 of them in existence. But this will be for your tools either at home or at the racetrack. It doesn't have a number 1, number 2, number 3. There will be trophies as well. So there'll be big, huge plaques for the winners as well for what they got in the actual series, but as well as each of the finalists for first, second, and third will get one of these as well. So a personalized kind of thing, limited edition. This will only come out this one time for these guys at the track. So if you see somebody with this, you'll know from the 2020 championship series that these guys ended up winning this. So winning or one of the top 3 finalists. So very cool. This is a guy that does these. He's also in the RC industry. So he ends up cutting these for us. So keeps the money. You know, these are pretty expensive. You guys can see these are $60 stands online, and it being custom and everything like that. But that'll go to each of the limited edition. You won't see these any other time than this next weekend. So definitely, if you guys are in the points, you're going to want to check it out and be there for the finals. We also have personalized trophies as well. Not personalized, but for the entire series. It will have all the tracks that were part of the series on there. They'll have the mod colors on there for the actual trophies, and so each of the finalists will get those as well. This is let's see. This is a double points round. So what is double points? Basically, this round is going to be the most important round of the entire series. I think I'm a little unprepared. Let me see if I can get my other laptop out for what it is. Let's see if I can quickly do this for you guys. So double points is basically, it's the most important round in and of the fact that we do a double points for the finals, so we get guys to show up, as well as it makes them complete the entire series, and be there, because it takes out the effect of like some guy locking it up by like the third or fourth round and then not going to anything else, and it's over. The double points round effectively makes it so that when you go to this round, it's for the creme de la creme. You have to be at the double points round for the finals. So this will, instead of like, let's say you get first, usually first is worth like, let's say 100 points. Now it's worth 200 points. Second is usually 99. Now it's worth 198. So this could effectively move guys up and down tremendously, especially when a lot of our battles for like the top, I want to say top 5, top 6 are within like 8 points. So for instance, if you're pretty far up there, you could, if you break in the main, you can fall, down those 5 positions, or a guy that's in 5th can now have a chance at possibly taking the full championship. So I think it's kind of cool. Definitely the rest of the rounds get you to that level, and then this final one really takes it up a notch. So it'd be pretty cool. Let me see. Let me see here. See if anybody has any sort of comments here that I can answer. Let me try and get into my live time here, guys. Special thanks to Live Time, Live RC as well. Definitely, if your track does not have them, make them get them. They've helped out on our overlays and sponsored the series. Let me get this. So for instance, don't have your computer go out on Live RC, because your entire series is actually on that one computer. So that would really not be good if this computer ever went away. So I probably need to back that stuff up. So let me see. If I can answer any questions. So I want a tool holder. So Michael, these guys, we have like 5 different colors. We got a really cool yellow one that's very popular. We've got an orange one, kind of matches the tools. They're fluorescent. You can get those on modspeedshop.com. If you go right now, you'll also get a percentage off. We're doing right now, for anybody that's watching right now, we have still a Black Friday, Thanksgiving, whatever you want to call it, sale going on all the way up until the Mod Championship Finals, which hits on Friday. So all the way until Thursday at midnight, you can type in, I believe it's Mod Champ Finals. You can go on the pinned post that's at the top of the Mod Facebook page, and you can get a percentage off your entire cart. So it's there so the guys can get their stuff ready for next weekend. If you need any fifth scale goodies, anything like that, so that should help. So let me. Okay. Yeah, Randall, can you post up the points to this race? So I will do that. I just don't know if I can post them up at this second. It takes me a little while to get through everything. But let me see if I can show you guys. So that might be okay. I'm going to try and, yeah, I've got all of them in here. I got all of them counting. So let me see if I can easily do this for you guys. Thank you for those tuning in. I'll kind of show you what's going on here. Okay, so let me get this other computer into sharing and I can show you guys what's up for the series finalists. Apologies. So what else is kind of coming up? Let me see. You have blank pistons for the V4 shocks. I don't think that I have blank pistons. I do have pistons on the side so you can drill them to be more than where you're currently at. So they do have dimple holes in there. So right now it's a 4-hole. You can go to 6-hole, 5-hole, open up the holes, and then as well as you can drill out for more bypass, whatever you want to do. So yes and no. We do sell pistons on the side, so you can grab those and just kind of change them up. What we have coming out for 5th scales. So we do have new stuff coming out. I don't want to say anything now because it usually bites me in the butt when I do say something because 1, people are asking for them, and 2, people steal ideas. So I've had that on many different times where that has gotten me. But I can say stuff that is on, and they can't copy it because, well, it's just too much money to copy it, is the we have the TLR 22X4 puck system that's going to be coming out here within the next, I want to say, 1 to 2 months. I'm going to be signing off on some parts next week. So for all of our 13.5 racers that are out there, the B74 one has been a huge hit with guys. And I think that we're going to be jumping back into that realm for 10 scale on both carpet and dirt. And we're going to be getting some guys going with all that and really getting our entire game going for our 10 scale stuff. Hold on a second. Hey, Jason, shut it down. I can hear myself talking. So let me get into, I'm going to get those points here for you guys. So 10 scale stuff is on full throttle right now on some 10 scale stuff. It's coming into the kind of their season 2, as well as with me doing a little bit more of the coverage for that. I want to try and go to some of those events. I see it as a good market, but as well as getting into like the carpet and the turf and stuff like that. Done it before. I had a lot of fun at doing it. It's just that when I ended up, let me see. When I ended up splitting off from MIP, they were usually my full-on supporters when I would go and travel to events and we were doing product. And MIP has a lot deeper pockets than I do. So it kind of has taken me getting the infrastructure going for mod, as well as the building and the help and more financial, backing from what we've done over the last 2 years to be able to kind of break into that realm and to do the quantities that we need because it's still made at MIP. So it's made on their machines. I still work with those guys. It's still the same formula that goes into it because I help them do all the stuff for all the puck systems and everything like that for 10 scale. And I was right there integral in that part of it. It's just that to do runs of this stuff is like $10,000 to $15,000, and you have to pay all that like in 30 days. So that cost is really, really high and you have to turn that all over because everything's made here. They have to get their money, and then you end up obviously, marking it up. You got to do the marketing behind it. You got to go to events. You got to do a lot of promotion. So you have to have something that's you're getting that back in the end, as well as in the racing realm, you have to put a lot more money into it for something to sell versus like the bashing realm and stuff like that. So we're going to be getting back into that. Let me see here. Let's see if I can ask any questions. When can I get a mod lightweight 62 spur? The super secret 62? I got one up here actually, Foundry RC. It's actually sitting right behind me. So I'll see right after this. I'll put one in stock, and if you want it, go and grab it. So I've got one in stock. So yeah, Tom Bishop 13.5 lightweight puck system was the winner at the NCTS series at RC Madness. It's proven. So thank you, Tom. I know his son was very fast with it. So it does work on turf. It works on carpet, works on dirt. And I hear guys say it feels like a mod car. So definitely go and check out that system that we have for the 13.5, I should say, for the B74.1. Death, I think that's Krasiga. Put me down for a 22x4 puck system. Thank you, Chris. And let me enter broadcast here. So I'm going to show you guys what's going on with the points. See if I can. All right, I'm going to enter the broadcast studio. Let me share the screen. All right, well, it looks like Inception right now for everybody out there. So we'll take that away real quick. Boom. All right. So that kind of shows you guys what's going on. Maybe I'll remove myself so you guys can see. I'm gonna re-add myself to here. So I guess when I took myself off, it lost the audio. So we're back on. We're back on with we're good to go. All right, so let me see if I can zoom this even further. All right, this is even better. Dialed. Yeah. All right. You guys have audio now? You should have audio now. Okay, so for the hopefully we have audio. Yeah, audio's back. Okay, audio's back. So for everybody out there, this is the series that is run in 2020. We have gone to five tracks altogether. This will be the 6th track this weekend. And for those out there, you get a participation point as well as you get, these are like extra points you can get that always stay with you. The participation point stays with you, so it rewards the guys that go to every race, as well as for TQ points, those follow you and you get also TQ points. So for the finals, it is double points, so it will help guys. So for instance, right now we have between like Jake McGarvey, Carl, Dan, Aaron Jordan, and John Ingold. So, for instance, if even John Ingold, well, he would be. These are points with drops. Yeah, so they've gone to at least 2 because it's best 3 out of 6. That's how it works. So these are these guys' best point totals that they have going into it. So for instance, between Dan and Jake and Carl, and Aaron Jordan for that instance, and all the way to John Ingold, it could be a 10-point spread. So for instance, if Jake happens to break and John gets first, he could potentially take the overall championship for the entire series. And then vice versa, Carl would need to beat Jake by at least 2 positions to get the overall, or TQ. So Jake is sitting good because he's got 2-point lead on Carl. If they tie, the tiebreaker goes down to number of wins and TQs. So I think they both have 2 wins apiece. So then it would go to, I guess it would actually go to their next one, I would say, which would be the final one. So actually on a tiebreaker, I don't think it goes to TQs. It may. I have to check that one because this would be a special case. But it might go to their third one. So if they do tie on points, I believe Carl would still get it. And for instance, so this is a good example. So for instance, between Carl and Dan, let's say that Dan ends up, it'd be impossible for Dan to actually tie Carl, but let's say that he just did tie Carl. The tiebreaker would go down a number of wins, and since Carl has 2 wins and Dan only has 1 and his is a second, the tiebreaker would go to Carl. So Carl's actually looking pretty good if he can beat these guys. So we'll kind of go through here. We can kind of go through here so we can see it's close in the 2-wheel drive portion of it. We have for 4-wheel drive expert, we've got Fatback, Sean, RC, Ronnie Basic, and John Ingold within a 9-point or 7-point gap here, and actually Kerry Wright and Josh Hicks. So all these guys all have a chance at the entire championships if you were to kind of mix them all together. So that's up for grabs. So that's pretty good, but you can see within this, 1 position, 2 positions is going to mean a lot. So actually, Sean Bowie will have to beat Fatback by 2 positions to take the overall. So 4-wheel drive Buggy Pro, we've got 5 guys in it for the overall championships, and it's a 3-point spread. So between those 5 guys that are there that qualify for the overall, it'll come down to 2 positions for the 4-wheel drive pro. So it's going to be pretty next level. Let's see, go to the next one here. All right, so we'll go to, we got 4-wheel drive buggy sports, and we have 11 guys that qualify for the points, and that's just going into the last one. And you can see, shoot, all the way down to, I would say, 9th place there. That's, that's a 7-point gap. So top 10 is a 8-point gap all the way down to William Miller. I would say has a chance at getting the overall, depending on who shows up, depending on what they got. So that's a full field of 10 that have the chance there for the overall. We've got 1/5 Scale Expert Pro, sponsored by Vertigo RC. We've got Jason Turner currently leading it. And so that's a good example. So it does show where the wins take into effect. So in between Jason and Carl, they both have 204, but why is Jason leading Carl going into the finals? Well, he's leading being that the fact that he has 1 win and he's got 1 second, while Carl has 1 win and 1 third place. So and what's given him that extra point on Jason to catch up is his TQ bonus point that he got, because both of these guys have been to all of the races. So with that in effect, that's why Jason is ahead of Carl. So wins matter, but going into the finals, it's going to come down to basically between these top 5 guys that are within 3 points. So that's 2 positions. And in between Jason, Carl, and Sean, and Mitch Mitchell for that matter, that's 1 position of whoever's going to take the overall for those guys. So there's another close battle, even down to Brent Ashton. So that's 6. So that's within 6 points. So those guys are very, very close. Even down to Mark Forbes here, and Derek Thibodeau. Like, they've all have a chance at realistically kind of getting up there, and Brian Shapiro. So a lot of those guys can get into the top 3 if they show up, and they could podium, depending if they have a really good final round. And then we'll get into, I think we still had more on that other page. All right, 4-wheel pro truck. So we've got myself, Chris Higa, and Brian Sullivan, Rick Christian, Daniel Fry, Ed Turney, and Shea Barker all qualifying. I'm actually, all of mine have TQs and first, and I've been to all of them, so I'm sitting pretty good at 207. With Chris Higa right there and Brian Sullivan. So those guys would have to beat me. Chris would have to beat me by 3 positions. Brian would have to beat me by he would have to beat me by 4 positions. Same thing with Rick Christensen, 4 positions he'd have to beat me by. And same thing with Daniel Fry. So, but top 3 is obviously still up for grabs, depending on if they break, something happens, all of it is still up for grabs for the overall. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the 1/5 scale beginner class. Jason Moorhead is leading it with Guy Nelson, Martin Peterkasen, all with a 3-way battle at 202. And Steve Lackey at 201, Cale Garver 199. So all these guys, these top 5 guys, are realistically 1-2 positions is going to decide it for their overall. But we have 12 people actually qualifying for the overall win, which is pretty cool to see. I'll get these all posted up for those guys out there so they can check it out of what's going on with the final point series. So they see what's going on. Sean Bowie, hope to see you this next weekend. You're actually in a battle for a couple of them, Sean. I know for sure in truck. I don't know if you ran all the buggies. Oh, you did. So there you go. So Sean actually has a chance at 2 of the wins. I believe he's right up there in truck and right up there in buggy. So he's got a chance at both of the wins. For Sean and for Josh Hicks, for that matter, I know he's in a battle in truck. So both of those guys probably raring for the weekend, going to be out there. And it's going to be some close battles for sure going into the finals. So for Sean kind of jumping in here, as well as others jumping in, I will pull this screen real quick. I'll remove this guy. Go to full screen. So for those guys, we have for the top 3, not only will they get a trophy, they'll actually get the limited edition Mod Series Championships tool stand, so you guys can have it at home. You can bring it to the racetrack, red, white, and blue for USA there. So that will be a stand that never comes out again for you guys in 2020. This is one time. There'll only be 24 of these in existence, and each of the winners of the top 3 will get one, as well as a big trophy for the end, showing off their win for the championship series. Kind of my thank you to you guys for doing everything, because these puppies are expensive. They're about $60 a pop. So you do the math on 60 times 24, and they get quite expensive very quick. So thank you guys. So about 20, my math is correct, $2,400 worth of stands that we'll be giving away for the finals for you guys. So thank you so much. I think I don't know if my math is correct. I think it is. I could be wrong. Let me check myself. No, I'm sorry. $1,400, $1,440. It sounded better at 2,400. Yeah, so $1,400 worth of trophies there for you guys. So and then obviously another trophy, but this is a thank you to you guys, limited edition that will come up. So Dan, can you explain the double points? So I don't know if you just got in here, Dan, but I just explained it over the last like 20 minutes. So for Dan, real quick, and for other people that are punching in, double points basically, instead of 100 for a win, it's now 200. Instead of for second would be 99, now it's 198. So it's a 2-point gap that you can catch up on somebody. So for the points, if guys are within, one to 2 points of each other, it can be huge, because realistically, like a guy that gets first can get 200, and a guy that gets second would get like 190, 180. Or no, I'm sorry, a guy that gets first gets 200. A guy that gets 10th gets 180. So you can make up basically a 20-point gap in somebody if you end up breaking and the other person gets first. So instead of, like, for instance, like normally you'd get 100, and then if you got 10th, you'd get 90. So you'd only drop 10 points like that. Now you'd be at like 180. So it's a huge thing. So one, you definitely have to finish, because that's going to be huge if you have a full thing, because that you'll drop so many points, it'll not be good. And then two, if you're within 1, 2, 3 points of each other, basically, 1, 2 positions could be 4 points. So it could be huge. So it could be very, very good for some people, and it could be very, very bad for others. And it all comes down to this. So Carl Woosley. Good question, Carl. Have you decided what kind of program you're running next year as far as classes and divisions? So Carl is on the inner circle when it comes to what I've been talking about in the past. And I think that I need to draw it out a little bit more. But for next year, I want to try and mix it up a little bit with how we're running our current format. And this is for everybody to help increase. So for 2021, we will have the series again. There'll only be 6 rounds. I'm so busy these days, guys, that 6 rounds is basically all I can do. So maybe I can draw this out for you to kind of show you. So for instance, here's the best way to show you. So let's go to, I'm going to bring this back on. Let's go to a race that we've just had. Let's see. So for instance, here's a good one. All right. 2-wheel drive's not a good example. It was actually a pretty good one for everybody. Okay, so we can see, what is this, heat 1? All right, this would be a pretty good, showing you guys of what's going on. So I want to mix it up next year so that we increase the competition. Ray Gray, everybody's 55 plus in 5th scale. So I'm just saying it. It's just me. Maybe I'll do the class. So maybe a 60 plus. We'll see. We'll see where the demographic is. So for next year, one is that I want to increase the competition by about 300%. I want to make qualifying matter again. And I want to make the racing much closer than it currently is. To do that, we have to basically put everybody into one pool, basically into one pool. Right now we have like a bunch of different little kiddie pools. That's what it is. You've got the let's say the pro class, you've got the expert class, and you have the sportsman class, and you got the beginner class. So when you take all those and you separate them into all those divisions, when you separate all of those, it ends up taking it so that when you separate them into the positions, you might have, in the pro class, you're going to have, expert, and then sportsman, and then beginner. All right. It's the best way I can explain it to you guys. You have the pro, expert, sportsman, and beginner classes. So for instance, a full heat of them would be 10. But for instance, really we need like 20, to really get some good racing in. In expert you have 7, but you need 20, in sportsman you need, we need a lot more in all of these. And this is all like basically a pro truck, or a truck class, I should say. So all of that is a truck class. So we also have problems with, like, let's say in pro and expert, you end up having problems with marshals, as well as, a couple people break in each of these. It doesn't, it's not good for viewing it for the viewers, as well as it doesn't do you any good when you have like 2 people running on the track or lacking marshals, as well as the competition from like some of these sportsman guys should probably be up in expert. Probably some of these expert guys should probably be down in sportsman. Some of these beginners should probably be up in sportsman. Some of these pros should probably be down in expert. So it matters in and of the fact that our current race format, where you think that you are, is not really a good justification of where you really are. And being of the fact of, because we've always just done this, being either it's trophy hunting or where you think that you are in a class. So we've always done it where, like, we say, oh, is somebody sandbagging? And you're like, bring it to our attention way beforehand. Well, we do that in and of the fact, if you have a couple people that are really fast, that these guys are saying, oh, he shouldn't be in my class, then we say, oh, can we move this guy up, what have you, where he should be? Well, realistically, what we're already doing is the times should determine where you're at. So I know that everybody wants to be in the racing class that they all are. So my proposition is we do something that's much like what's already out there, is like, kind of like an A, B, C, and D main. But now we have like Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, because we never have really that many cars. We always have maybe 30, 40, 50 trucks. And that should be, we should have, 10, 10, 10, 10 is what it should be. And it should be that, where these guys right here should be mixed up. Everybody should be jumbled, because right now, for these 5 pro guys, for these 7 expert guys, even a little bit for some of these beginner guys, you don't even have to qualify. Like, qualifying doesn't matter. It's just extra running that's happening in all of these. Qualifications don't matter in our races, realistically, because we don't have the people to make where qualifications where you're afraid that you're going to be in the C main or the D main. You can just go around the track and, you end up where you end up, or you don't even run, and you're like, you show up on Sunday and you're automatically in the main. It shouldn't be like that. If you're going to qualify and you're actually beating people, you should be trying to be within this whole group. So if my math is correct, that's going to be 12, That's going to be 21. We add those two up. So we have 33. So you have 33 guys, let's say, in total. So realistically, all 33 will be against each other, every one of them. And you have seeding rounds. So like the next round, like you do really well, you end up seeding into the class above, you know, and your seeding round takes you with you for your total time. So for instance, then you'd have maybe 10, 10, 10, 3. So you'd have like division, I believe it's, my Roman numerals might not be right, but you'd have 10, 10, 10, and 10, what have you. But the thing is you're not stuck in these divisions. You'll be able to move up divisions in the main. So this is where you basically qualify into. And each of these divisions would have trophies. So you're going to now be facing up against, you know, not just these 6 normal people that you're normally up against, these 5, you know, normal people that you're up against, these 7, because you can see in every one of them, you always know what guys are going to be there. You can always weigh yourself up against them, but you never know what's going to be going on from race to race, because some people are faster at some racetracks, some people are slower at some racetracks. So you'll be going in between these the entire time. And like, let's say you had some really bad rounds, you might end up in Division 3. So we give you the decision where if you end up in division, like let's say you had really bad qualifying, you know that you're a Division 1 guy here, but you didn't qualify there. In qualifying, you didn't earn a Division 1. It's not just because you signed up for it and there's only 5 guys that you're automatically in. You have to qualify in your 3 qualifying rounds where you have your best 2. So you have 3 qualifying rounds right there, and you have each 3. One is going to be a throw out. So you throw one out, just how we normally do. So your best 2 out of 3. But on each round, so like if you're with, you know, a bunch of beginners or something like that, on your first round, that'll be a seeding round. So it'll seed you into the other divisions, and you get reseeded after each round. So there's no way to actually sandbag in anything. You'll be with the guys that you should belong with, and you're also facing the competition that you've never competed against the entire time. So this will effectively put you in the exact division, the exact place that you need to be in, depending on your times, not on what you feel that you're in, because of the times. The time should place you where you should actually be placed, not on where you depend or think that you are. It's like that in every form of racing. We just have it in our, you know, form of racing, being to the fact that either guys like just want to be there, depending on it. So let me show you guys kind of how this could work, and showing you why this would be a good idea. So let's see here. We'll add that back in. Okay, so we had, let's see. So this is a really good example. We realistically had 5 guys in Sportsman Buggy on this one. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we had 7 guys in this one. So we had 12 people in Buggy so far. And we had another 9 in this one. So we had 21 guys in Buggy. So realistically, if math serves me correctly, and we can usually fit 11 to 12 guys, instead of it being 3 heats, it should have been 2, and the guys should be battling out against all 21 people to see where they're going to match up in the entire thing. So something where, for instance, Jake McGarvey here ended up breaking down, or Tom Stover broke down, that would set them at and give them points for like 20th and 21st. Right now, it gives them points for 8th and 9th within that round. Though within their own round, it doesn't really matter. It's thrown out, but they're already in the A main event. So those guys, realistically, they don't deserve to be in the A main event because they broke. They didn't qualify. So we can even see, for instance, all these are the same times. Ronnie Basic, 10.501. Okay, he was the top in the expert class. 10.501 should have put him 3rd overall in the pro class. So should Ronnie belong in expert? As far as the times are concerned, no. He should have been in Division 1. He should have been up there. He's going faster than what he should be, for instance. So let's look at Ricky Huckel, 10.518. All right. So 10.518 would have put him 5th, right ahead of Dan. So he should be 5th ahead of Dan. And realistically, instead of Dan getting 5th, he should have been 7th overall, as far as this is concerned, and not 5th. So it raises your competition 100%, 200-300% over this entire time. So let's look at where maybe a sportsman guy should have been. So Stephen Smith, 9.513. 9.513 should have put him 3rd in expert. So Stephen shouldn't have been 1st in sportsman. He should have been 3rd in expert within this one. And if we see 9.513 versus in pro or Division 1, so he should have been 6th overall in pro class if he would have been thrown into there. And this is a bigger pro class than what we normally have. This was exceptional for this class. So this gives you guys basically where everybody should be bunched up way more than where they are. And the guys that break down should realistically be getting the higher points, of those 20, 30 points, and not have where they get an 8 or a 9. And realistically, everybody's always in the A main. Like everybody is this is effectively going to put you into your pro, expert, sportsman, and beginner. It's going to qualify you into each of those. Each of the divisions are going to have trophies. They are. But what this is going to do is it's going to give you where you're with the competition that you are. This will effectively put you into your pro, your expert, your sportsman, or Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. But it will effectively give you those points for each of those where you belong. And then you're seeded into each one. So it's not, you're going to let your points depend on where you are. And everybody that does this wants to be with the people of where they're at, and not have where guys are going way faster than where they realistically should be. We'll give you some more examples here of the same thing. So here's a really good example. The pro truck class was only 5 guys. So is that really fun to watch with 5 people in it? No, it's not at all fun to watch. Usually in a fifth scale race, 30 to 40% of them break as it is. So you have and then out of that 30 to 40%, so we're left with 3 people, which I do believe was 3 people that were left in this race at the very end of it, to 2 people, I think. I was one of the last ones, and I think Rick was one of the last ones, I want to say. Possibly Daniel. So it's going to effectively, we want to make, since we're doing the Mod Live Media thing too with Live RC and covering these events, it's not fun to watch 2 cars going around the track. Let's be honest, it's just not. But if you have a full field of 10, you're going to have 7 guys at the end, 8 guys that are all running, that are effectively running against people that they've never run against before at all. So we'll show you guys with the times and see where other people would match up. So for instance, okay, this is Truck Pro. All right, let's see. Chris Rogers. Chris Rogers was a 10.5.21. And this will move guys where they need to be, where maybe they're in pro, but they don't belong in pro. They should be an expert, and that will effectively put them into their divisions. So let's see how many total there were in all of them. Okay, so there was 7, 5, and 5. So, there was another, there's actually, let me see, Truck Sportsman. How many Truck Sportsmen? Okay, so there's actually 2 Truck Sportsmen, 2 Truck Experts, and 1 Truck Pro. So if that gives us it, so we have 6, I think it was 6, 6, 5, 5, and 5. Okay, 7. All right. So if I do my math correctly, that's 12. That's 12. Another 5, that's 17. All right, that's 23. 29. So if we have 29 guys, that's how many trucks we had, 29. So that should realistically be 3 divisions. So that should be 3 divisions, and it should be 10, 10, and 9, basically, correct? So with that, but all these guys are spread out. What we had, that went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to make for less days, or less hours, I should say. It'll make for less hours within a day, because of the fact that we're going to be able, instead of not having a bunch of 7 and a 6 up, we're able to bunch like a 9 and a 9 up, that can be on a track. So it's gonna shorten our time for the day. It's gonna put people where they belong. It's gonna totally eliminate sandbagging. It's going to effectively increase your competition by 300%. It's going to make qualifying, great again. So it's going to change all of that. It's gonna make the racing way more racing. So with that in mind, so let's see kind of where these guys were at overall. So for instance, we'll take the 2 top. So Mitch Mitchell at a 10.5.25. Chris Rogers at a 10.5.21. So both of those guys should have been 3rd and 4th, because they had 10 laps. They should have been 3rd and 4th in pro. So these guys, Daniel, Eddie, and Chris would have been way down. He would have it right now for Chris. He can qualify wherever he qualifies because he's still in the pro main Division 1. But since he only had 2 laps, he's going to have now, if nobody else broke, he would have 29 points instead of 5 points that he now has. So it makes it way more important to be able to qualify, because all your competition, instead of competing against 5 people, Chris and all of us are now competing against 29 people. So that's like, I don't even know. That's 600%. That's what that is. It's 600% increase in competition for the pro guys right now. For the pro guys, their competition for this race just went up 600%. So it makes it important for everybody to qualify and for everybody to do it. Let me see. Ronnie, I know Ronnie's had some issues with it in the past, but once I think you run it, Ronnie, I think you'll be happy. When you get took out by a beginner guy, going to be some sad faces, as we all want to do, is play with our toy cars. So Ronnie, that's why we have seating. So actually, like, let's say after and beginners, I think, will be possibly a little bit different, but that would be like Division 4 guys is what that would end up being. So there's been some fast beginners, believe you me. Now, I'll go to the beginner class and look at it of where they should be versus the sportsmen's. So we might even mix those in. So with the guys, so that's why you have seeding rounds. So with seeding rounds, you'll end up like, let's say you'll run your first run per se. Let's say you run your first run. That will end up automatically putting you into where everybody else did in their first run. So it's almost like a qualification within a qualification. So usually where you're stuck in your certain race, where you're like, okay, I was with this slow guy or something like that. Well, now that slow guy goes down to Division 4 qualification times, as well as everybody else that broke or what have you. So it would put them down below. So your first kind of round would be that seeding type of thing where it would take like your top 3 times or what have you, or it'll take your run and it will put you where you realistically belong. So it'll take the timed guys of where they're at, if they're Division 1, 2, or 3, and it'll put those with those guys. But like, let's say they end up improving on their next one, it'll shoot them from Division 4. Like, let's say they broke or they had a better run, it'll shoot them up to any of the other divisions in the other rounds because it'll be reshuffled. So, for instance, guys of wanting to have fun, it will be because they're with the like guys they want to be with, and that they're that speed, and it ends up being where you have to work with other people that are out there. You have to make sure. So qualifications is going to be huge for this. And it's going to matter for everybody, the beginners, the pros, everything. But all these guys are going to be with the people that they belong with, which I think is the main thing at the end of the day. So let me see here. Jacob Alton, controlled practice seeding for the first round. So possibly, Jake, I was thinking of possibly doing on Friday. Sometimes people can't get in on Friday. I think that might be something cool. So with something maybe that Ronnie is saying, of being kind of where they need to be, where you could potentially do a seeding round on beginning of Saturday or a beginning of or the end of kind of Friday when guys are running, so they can get out there and you have to seed into where you'd be qualified into the qualifications. So a lot of fifth scale guys sometimes arrive on Friday, but that might be an incentive for a lot of guys, or Saturday, that might be an incentive for people to be able to do it. So I think it'll be pretty cool. I know Ronnie has said stuff in the past, and this is going for the entire series. This is people that are kind of traveling to everything. So I think it's going to be something that totally increases the competition, 300-400%. And as you see, 500% in this latest one. So let's kind of go through it for those guys that might be in the beginner class versus the sportsman class. I think, Ronnie might have brought up a good point here. So let's go down. Let's see how many beginners we had. So we had 9 beginners. So we had Guy Nelson here with a 9.536, and that actually looks pretty fast. And he crushed his competition. So 9.536. Let's go to, and I know that Guy has a truck, 9.536. So 9.536 would have put Guy Nelson right behind Jessica Fry, which she's won sportsman before. So would have put him 4th. So he's first in beginner. He would have been 4th in this sportsman round. And let's see here, because all these are together. And it would have put him 3rd in this one. So it probably would have put him about 5th or 6th, I would want to say, with his first round. But that's against, 6, 12. There's 9 in the other one. So that would be, 21 people? So now Guy Nelson's competition just went up, basically 150% of somewhere where he should have been possibly in the beginning, as well as some of the other beginners. So, but it's going to basically, it's a qualification into those other deeming divisions. So there'll be 4 divisions. There'll be Division 1, Division 2, 3, and 4. And then you're able to, like the 29 that we had that I counted, If I add the other 9 from the beginner class, that's 38 people. So that will give us a full 4 divisions with a packed full racing. Instead of having a B main that might be like 2 or 3 guys and something else, you're going to be going up against these guys. And since you can move in between them, you're able to bump up. You're able to bump up in between. Let me see if I take this off. You're able to bump up in between the divisions. So you don't have to stay in Division 4. If you end up winning that division, you move up to the next division, and or you can stop, take that trophy, and go home. Like, this will give you the option. If you get first or second, you can bump up to the next division, or you can say, hey, you know what? I want to take the trophy, stop there, and, oh no, I'm sorry. This is how you do it. So if you get the top 2, you bump up to the next division, and you keep your trophy from Division 4. If you end up going up in Division 3 and you get top 2 in that, you relinquish your trophy from Division 4. That goes to the next person in line, and then those guys get to bump again. So if you get that, then you end up relinquishing it. If you get top 3 in there, so I should have said third. If you get the top 3 in there, you relinquish your trophy from this one, and it ends up going to the guy that was in Division 4, because you should have been up in here, and this is where you belong. So I think that's going to help with our competition. I think that's going to help with the racing altogether as far as watching it. I think it's going to bring in everybody that, if guys don't like it, we can switch back. I'm not saying I'm right. I know that within the fifth scale community, they don't come from that background when it comes to the whole racing aspect of what we've done in 10 scale and 8 scale. But that's why I like it. They don't have, like, overseas and stuff like that. They don't have where they have a pro, expert, open, beginner. They've got a buggy class and they've got a truck class, or buggy and 4-wheel, and that's it. And wherever you are, you're in an A, B, C, D, E main. That's just how it is. That's how it's done out there and everything else. And I like that format, but I also like what we have now. So it's almost a hybrid between the two. So I hope you guys understand that, where it's a hybrid between the two. I want to bring more competition. I want people to be with the like people that they're of the speed. And I want that qualification matters again, because all the things that I just said, it doesn't matter. You can show up, and for our races that we have with FizzScale, you can just realistically sign up for any class, and you automatically are in the A main. Let's be real, guys. It's how it is. And guys just going out there and they're going around, that's great, but we're also racing. We want to race. We want competition. And that's when you see some of these awesome battles, in the sportsman class. And I've seen awesome battles in the beginner class, because sometimes both of those classes, have 15, 16 guys in them. So they're bunching up within like the top 10. So you see like the close battle within the top, 2, 3 guys of battling it out, because they're in like speed. But for instance, those people that are in the expert class possibly need to be in the sportsman class, and vice versa. So it's going to put everybody exactly where they belong. And it's just how it'll be. So I'll kind of show you guys some qual points I think will be even better, because it will bring all those races together. Let me see if I can find the reports for it. Bear with me. Thanks for everybody tuning in, by the way. All right, so here's a good example. Okay, so we had these guys. Don't matter about round 3 because of the fact that we had to run less time here, but we'll look at these other ones. So for instance, Carl Woosley, 10.5.19. We had Fat back here with a 10.5.27. Ronnie Basic 10.5.24. So 10.5.19 for Carl. Where should Carl have been? 10.5.19. So realistically, Carl's time would have put him third place in the pro truck class. Carl would have been third because all these other guys, something happened to Ed. He was way faster than Ed here. He was a lap faster than Ed in this one, and Ed finished all of them. Daniel Fry didn't even start or something, so it didn't matter. And then he was right behind Chris Higa, and Rick Christensen broke. So Carl should have been third. And same thing goes for, Mitch Mitchell, 10.5.25. That's pretty quick. 10.5.25 should have put him right behind Carl. So Mitch Mitchell should have been fourth in Division I. And these guys should be dropped down. So that's a thing for Ed too. So let's see Ed's best time of a 9.5.16. So where would that have put Ed realistically, because he's in the Truck Pro class? 9.5.16. So these are all 10s. 9.5.16. So it should have put him near Brian Shapiro. And Brian got 7th in this round. So that just shows you right there where Ed's pulling in the 9-lap realm, where Ed should be in Division 2 of everything, and be where Brian Shapiro is, where, in the 9-lap realm seems to be in Division 2. Division 1 would be in like the 10-lap round. So it's going to pretty much put people where they belong, and it'll drop people up and down depending on where they are. So let's see here. Tim Parker, 9.5.08. That's a good one. Let's see here. So 9.5.08 for Tim Parker. So let's just see where he would have been. 9.5.08. Okay, this guy. So it would have put Tim Parker 5th place in the expert truck. So it would have put him in Division 2. So Tim Parker belongs there. He doesn't belong over here. From what his round says, like, it might average out where he is top of sportsman, but he is faster than what these other guys are. So hope that helps you guys. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but hopefully everybody kind of understands where it is. And the thing is there'll be trophies for each division that there is. And it basically, what it's realistically doing, without calling it a different name, it's qualifying you into the pro class for the weekend, into the expert class, into the sportsman class, into the beginner class for the weekend. It will put you within the class that you realistically belong in, of how you qualify and how you're doing at that specific racetrack at that specific time. If you break down, it'll make everybody faster. It'll increase the competition. It will make for good TV for viewing everything. It will totally eliminate sandbagging, and I think it'll make it so that everybody, picks up their game a lot, and as far as everything. So hope you guys understand that. I hope that it's not too crazy for the guys out there, and we'll be running through it. It's a pretty easy setup as far as everything goes. You guys will understand it right off the bat once we do it. I think it'll end up becoming where that becomes the norm in my eyes, because there'll be times where I break down and I don't make, let's say 1 or 2 runs. Realistically, I should be in Division 4. When best 2 out of 3 count, I didn't qualify well. I shouldn't belong in the A main. And I think a lot of people will feel that way, where you don't deserve where you should have been. But I still have a chance to get up to Division 1, because I will be able to bump up. So you're still able to bump up, depending on if you didn't have good qualifying. But this will effectively make qualifying better. It'll make your competition more fierce. It'll give you guys better racing. It'll make better TV. It will eliminate sandbagging. It will pack the classes. It will give us where we have plenty of turn marshals because everybody will have 10. So we'll no longer have a class of like 4 expert buggies, and it will give us where we have a full class of 10, which we need. It'll help all of that. And a lot of stuff that has been plaguing us, I think, for a very long time, and we haven't really found a solution for. I think that this hybrid version of what we're going to institute in 2021 is something that will be much better for the community altogether. And you come into it and you're like, I got 40 guys I'm going up against realistically. You're not just going up against your normal 7 people. You're going up against 40 different people in qualifications, and you have to qualify well. If you don't qualify well, you break down. Sorry about your luck. So I think it's going to be a really cool setup. A lot of people don't sometimes understand it, or they think that they're going to be with way faster people than what they belong with, and you're not. You're going to be with the people that you belong with from the beginning and for where you are for that track. Because I know, like, Mike Duncan is very, very fast at CVR, but he might not be as fast, let's say, at Bakersfield. Mike is fast there too, and Mike's very fast altogether. But, for instance, he's very, very good at CVR. So he might take down a couple dudes that are usually way fast everywhere but CVR because it's more of a technical track. And that should be where you set up your car better for the different tracks. You should be able to enjoy that, where you have to set up your cars better. You have to make them work better because now your competition is 40 guys, not 7 guys. And it will totally just increase your competition and everything. And you can go on. Adam Drake had a really good video with on YouTube. If you look up one of his latest videos for Adam Drake, he had one on club racing explaining a lot of the same stuff of what we're talking about now, where the classes are you have more competition, and it's way more fun. Like, everything will be way better. And then it'll be something that, let's say, for instance, where, like, before we'd have it where, and they did this at the chase races, they did this at a couple different events and everything, where at the end of the series, you bump up. And you're now in, like, let's say the sportsman guy just won, and he got it by the skin of his chinny chin chin, or an expert guy, where they bump up to the next class. Now you're in pro for, like, ever. But the thing is what if you're not really pro? What if you're kind of like, you're a fast expert, you're a fast expert, but a slow pro, and you're always kind of within that realm. Now you're competing with these pros or what have you, or a couple guys, or vice versa. You're in sportsman, but you're right in between sportsman and expert. Now you're tossed in, with these other dudes that you don't feel like you can compete against. You're like, I'm really still in Division 3. I'm still in sportsman. You'll basically be there at whatever race that you're at because you'll qualify in the position, and you'll be in the position that you should be in. And that's what gives it to you. And the trophies, when you win that trophy in that specific division, that's going to mean way more to you because you had to face up against way more people to be able to get that. Not 5 dudes that you're there and 3 of them broke, so you got, first or second on default. No, there was 10 dudes in that class that were all like speed that you're going up against. So it's going to make that trophy and what you achieve worth way more than I got this on default. You know what I mean? So I think it'll help us out a lot in stuff that we've really been lacking within our community for the future. And if it doesn't work and guys hate it, I'll admit that I'm wrong, and that we'll go back to the normal standard format. But I say let's give it a try for 2021. Let's try it out. Let's see how this goes. Let's stick with it, and let's make it happen. I think that it's a really good way to go about it. I think that it's perfect for everything. I think it'll match up people where they need to be matched up with everything, and qualification matters again. So I hope you guys understand that. So let me see. Wonder how much of a pain it would be to fly in for each stop in the 2021 series. Well, Rob, if you fly in for each and every race, your race is on me, buddy, as far as the entry fee. If you're going to be flying in for everyone, I got you. You can pit next to us. So that's a promise from me to you. If you fly in for everyone, I'll help you out on that one. If you come to the series races, that would be stupendous. But it shouldn't be too bad. We'd help you pit and everything like that. We'd have a table for you, and come and enjoy. Will kill switches be mandatory for the mod series for 2021? We are making it mandatory at Fear Farm. Randall, I'm going to push it a lot, being that we have people from all over the place, from the north, from everywhere. We're not going to make it mandatory. We will be making it mandatory for 2022. I think that people still need a little bit of time. We released it, we haven't had too much running this year. We released it this year. And I don't think we've had enough time for the entire series. I like it for track, what have you. But I think that 2021 is going to be a time that, everybody should have a kill switch. The mod kill switch is guaranteed, guys. Go and get it on modspeedshop.com. Super easy. And I think that's something that we can shoot for. I think that's something we can shoot for next year to get everybody in tune with it. I would hate to turn somebody away, but it's going to be something that we're going to push. Like if they're always there, they need to get kill switches, because we're going to be, hey, this is 2021. Everybody needs to be having it. Or 2022, everybody needs it. And it's going to be mandatory. But I think in the next year, we can acclimate everybody to getting kill switches in their cars. And by 2022, it should not be an issue. Or it's something that they end up, if you're at one of our races, by the next race, you guys need to have a kill switch. So I think that could be something, especially for a new guy. I think that's something that maybe even can be instituted at Fear Farm. Hey guys, if this is your first time here, you don't have to have a kill switch, but by the next one, you have to have a kill switch. So I think that might be something that you guys can institute to not turn away the new guy that's racing, and to get them into it, to say and show them what's going on with it, because a lot of people don't know about them, and a lot of people have never hooked them up. So I think we need better data coming from not only, the racetrack, but ourselves. I think mod needs to do better at that. I think that installing them will take some time. So, but as we get more the percentage of us having runaways, because that's the main thing of them stopping is runaways, is the percentage will go way, way, way down. So if we only have maybe 10 people out of a 100 people event, our percentage is not 100 now. Now it's 10% of them, which maybe 1% may run away, which is one person. So I think that's the best way to do it, is to wean people onto it, for 2021. If you've been with us before, you've raced with us before, hey guys, you need to get behind this. You need this thing, especially like at Fear Farm 2 with new guys coming in, and Bakersfield. I'm sure that they'll be doing it here soon enough with the whole kill switch thing, where a 2022 definitely mandatory thing with a one event grace period. And you could almost do that for you when you have a standalone track where it is a one event grace period. If you're coming back to us again and you don't have one in, we definitely need to get one in there, guys, because it will. And these are 100% guarantee, guys, where it will work for you. It's not going to shut down your car when you're running. We've tested this over the last year and a half. So get those mod racing kill switches online. You can get them right now for a percentage off, and they're only $100. So it'd be like 90 some dollars, like free shipping or something. So go on to modspeedshop.com. Let me show you guys, now that Randall has said that, of what's going on with the kill switch game. So 1/5 scale race, you can go to mod and main kits, and the kill switch is right here. Save some dollars this weekend. It's very, very small. It'll fit everything in the front thing: receiver, transponder, regulator, and this guy all in that front little Losi box that's in the 5T Losi. So you guys can also get one of those guys, very tiny, very small, and it will effectively kill your car with a push of a button, or shutting off your radio, lose a signal, it'll shut it down. So I think that will be good. That'll be good for something for you guys, Randall. Once again, with having it where there's a grace period, that guys getting into it and guys doing it, where they can have that grace period to get it into their car, but they can still run for the weekend. Like, we don't want to turn people away from the hobby. We don't want to say, hey, you have to have this cost, of doing it. But we would, we strongly urge that you have a kill switch in there for the safety of everybody. Is the thing that I would do, where it's a strong urge that doing it, but we're not going to turn you away. And especially if they do have a runaway, and you'd be like, all right, you definitely have to buy one. If they have the runaway and they're new and everything, all right, guys, put kill switch in. So I think that's something that that's feasible for everybody. I think that's very fair for everyone. Thank you, Randall, for the question. Let me see, Josh. East Coast events are popping up. Perhaps a series is next. Yes, Josh, we did a race with Josh out there. We had that indoor arena cross 5th scale. I think it was very cool. I was happy to be a part of it, and it's something that we need to talk about, Josh, most definitely, and start jotting down on a calendar possibly for it. So it's just it's what it takes to do it. It's just the moving pieces that need to happen to see if something's possible. So sounds good, buddy. So we'll talk soon on that. Rob, I'm on the team. Yes, Rob, we will. You'll be right there with us. If you're flying in, and you got a and you're going to be at every one of them. This isn't just like a one event thing. If you're going to all 6 of them, we'll help you out. We'll mod sponsor you. I'm going to mod sponsor you for your entry fee if you're going to fly out for everyone, because that's some dedication right there. You got to be to everyone, though. If a kid dies, then okay, I'll give you a pass. But other than that, you got to be there. Hey, Lewis. Matt, will you be at the Worlds in March? Yes, I do plan to, Lewis. Currently on the schedule for me to be there. Any new products in the pipeline for 5B and 5T? Yes, but I'm not saying anything, Nicholas. Let me see. Matt, do you recommend the B74 MIP mods at SDRC? Yes, Scott. I think that's going to be huge. We will have products and parts at SDRC for the event. I know that Sean Story is going to also be ordering stuff up for the Top Gun race. That's going to be a must. Matty G will have our system in his car. He's one of the fastest stock guys that's there, so he'll have it in his car there. So definitely, it's going to be huge. It drops 40% rotational mass, huge for the 13.5 racers. When we kind of got out of it in the B64 days, and everything like that, it was the hottest kit. You had to have one in there for 13.5. Like, it was next level where everybody had that kit. Kind of stepped away when MIP kind of stepped away from the racing market. We never had one out for the B74, brought it back in, but we have to get our racing back up again. So everybody's in stock. So once they're like, for instance, like when somebody's super, like everybody else has to be super. When everybody's back at stock, everybody can go down to stock because they're all the same. But once somebody's super, you got to be super. So I hear it helps cars basically feel like a mod car. So it'll be like putting a 10.5 in your car. It's going to drop your motor temps. It's going to give you where your drivetrain is fully rebuildable, so you don't wear out drivetrain components anymore, like outdrives and bones. You just replace the pucks. You reduce your rotational mass 100%, or not 100%, but by 40%. Give you more bottom end punch. Braking is easier, so everything about it way better. So get them online right now. I think we have a few kits left in stock. Yes, you can run plastic gears in the diff as well. So all righty. So I think that we're good to go. We've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes. I need to get some food. Are you hungry, Jason?
Yes.
Jason's hungry. Jason's a big guy too, so it takes food to keep that dude running. Let me see. Hi, Sam. And hi, Rachel. We will see you there. Sounds great. Awesome, guys. So looking forward to everybody going there. Okay. Oh, a couple more things for our guys out there. Make sure that you RSVP. So for those guys out there, there is an event that we just started, and I don't know, I think it shared it. But there is an event that we just started on Mod here. Everybody can see. Yeah, there we go. So we added an event on Mod's Facebook page where you guys can RSVP if you are going to the event. Make sure that you click in there. I just started, so I don't even know. I need to invite some people to go. But just so it shows you guys, I need to add that I'm going myself. So make sure that you end up RSVPing to the event. You can also go on to modspeedshop.com, which would help me a lot to make sure that you're going. You don't have to pay anything online. It doesn't take any of your monies. It's just an RSVP. You can go to the 1/5 Scale Championship Series here on the left. It'll pop it down. You go to Good Old Boys 4 through 6. And then you can sign up on here, choose your classes, everything like that of what's going on. And you can click on there, you add it to cart and put in your transponders, let me know what it is, and then you simply sign up. So it's a good little sign up method. It's an RSVP. You don't have to pay anything. There's no dollars. You just pay at the raceway. So you don't have to feel that you're out any money until you get there. So yes, make sure you RSVP on the Mod event page. We'll get that going. I will post up the series points so you guys know what's going on, so you can do the math on where you need to be. But if you're in the top 5 of anything, you have to be there. If you're not there, you will not be getting the overall, even if you're leading right now, because the 200 points for it will totally ixnay all of that. Where you're at right there is all that you need to know. Once the finals are set, you those 200 points will automatically extinguish anything that you've done before past the 2 qualifying events that you've had right now. So this one is basically mandatory if you want the final trophy and stuff like that, as well as the limited edition prize for everybody that's out there. So these will be for the top 3 finishers: red, white, and blue limited edition Mod Series Championships tool holder that you can use. So we're giving away basically $1,400 worth of merchandise to all the winners that are out there, as well as we will have trophies and plaques for each person, as well as there will be trophies for the individual event itself. So if you're just coming for the event, you're not in the series, no big deal. You get a trophy for that as well. And then we have a final trophy for everybody out there. So I think it'll be sick. Make sure that you guys are there. And it says Mod Series Championships on it. So the top 3 will get one of each class. And red, white, and blue limited edition. Never happen again. This will be the only 24 in existence for you guys that are out there. They're all built. They're all set. Made here in the USA. Make sure you grab some of these tool holders too on modspeedshop.com. They come in a bunch of different colors. But if you want one of these limited edition ones that's only 24 in existence, you got to be there this weekend. You got to be one of those top 3 guys in the championships that you've been leading up to this entire time. So much appreciated to everybody out there for your support and help of Mod and modspeedshop.com and the Mod Live Media section of it, of watching all of our races for 5th scale, some 10th scale, some 8th scale. Thank you to liverc.com for all their help and support with their overlays and stuff like that. So greatly appreciate them. So I've been talking for too long. I think that it's time to shut this thing down. It's time for me to get some food in me and for getting stuff ready for this next weekend. Even though it is, what is it today? Tuesday? I got to start packing. I got to start getting ready because we're going to be getting down there on Thursday, getting the live equipment all set up at Good Old Boys Raceway, getting the audio equipment set up, making sure we're ready for Friday when practice starts. Practice will be from 10 to 5 o'clock or whenever the darkness sets in for everybody out there. We'll run till dark. And then we will have lights for Saturday for any sort of qualifications that that go into the night. We're going to try and finish before that, but we will be able to run afterwards for practice and stuff like that. Guys can run afterwards, test out your stuff. We will have lights on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we look to probably be out of there by 2 or 3 o'clock so that everybody can get home safely and easily. Everything will be on live on liverc.com, on Facebook on Mod's channel, on YouTube on Mod's channel. It will also be on Good Old Boys channel as well. So kind of giving them a little bit of support there for the finals. So it'll be on a whole bunch of channels. It'll be on Twitch, so everybody can watch live, watching us race some cool 5th scale rigs. So I think it'll be very cool, guys. Thank you for everybody for all the support all year in 2020. It's been our best year yet. Not only for the series racing. Oh, we'll also be, if you guys have 8 scales, we'll be running an 8 scale class out there too at Bakersfield if you guys want to be out there. So anybody who wants to be doing an 8 scale, bring them on out. We will be running it. They'll only be running on Saturday only, but we will have an 8 scale class for anybody that wants to bring it. Kind of a fun class. I think it's good to include the 8 scale guys in it in the region. That's when they usually show up so that they can get acclimated to a lot of 5th scale. So much appreciated. Tim, about the Pistons, order the Pistons and it's just put Matt Special on the TLR Pistons. You have to order the TLR one. Order the 8-hole TLR piston, and we'll do the special Matt edition one that we've been doing for guys. So thank you guys, appreciate it, and make sure that you're there at the Mod Championship Finals. We will have raffle prizes as well out there for everybody out there. We're going to have trophy presentations. Everything will be live. It's a 3-day event basically, or 2-day. Show up there Saturday and Sunday. Show up there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Camping is 100% free. We're all going to be out there, just shooting the S, having fun, enjoying racing with our buddies. Can't wait for it. Track's all prep. We're ready to go. And we're set to end and cap off 2020 and finally be done with this year. I'm looking forward to it. So much appreciated. So we will have this as well. It is the commemorative 2020 stand, red, white, and blue for USA. And there's only going to be 24 of these in existence. We'll never make this again. So those guys that are out there, be square, and we'll see you soon. So much appreciated, guys, for everybody tuning in. We will see you on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday. make sure to be there, be square. And thank you guys for all the support. Grab any goodies that you need for your rigs, both 10th scale, 8th scale, 5th scale, any of the race goodies. We usually have it on modspeedshop.com. So greatly appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you. And talk soon. Send any messages that you want. See if I can help you out with anything. Thanks, guys. Bye.